boy, just be yourself. If people don't like you if you're being yourself, fuck them.
Big Los,
Hollywood Kev,
and welcome to another episode of The Noize on iHeartRadio. If you haven't yet, go ahead and follow The Noize on the big three, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Noize Podcast. And of course, BeatNetworkOnline.com for all things Beat Network, including all of our social media. We back up in this thing.
Yeah.
Got another Sunday episode finally out. We did Monday, then we missed a week. Did another Monday. Motherfuckers was blowing up the inbox like, so no show this week? I'm like, yeah, you just out here clocking folks. But
just wait.
But, you know, I've realized that when your listeners expand past your friends, like when we finally got over that hump of the homie supporting us. Mm-hmm. So, like, when your listeners pass to friends, like, you can't really just be like, hey, eat a dick. Just wait. You got to be like, oh, it's coming.
It's coming. Just be a little bit patient.
But just know I really feel like, nah, eat a dick. Just wait. We got you. I mean, I feel like we explained to them why we miss episodes on here.
Yeah, I don't think there has been a time where we just came back after missing an episode and didn't tell them why. We
At least didn't
episode.
put y'all on game as to why we missed the episode. But we love y'all. Don't get me wrong. It's ear hustlers all day. Mm-hmm. Hustle gang. Bang, bang. I'm going to get that going. Yeah. I'm taking that
Hustle gang?
I'm taking that from T.I. because does Hustle Gang even still exist?
I don't know.
Has Hustle Gang ever exist?
I think so, but I think T.I. was the only member because he's the only person
I've
heard say
name
it.
3 people from Hustle Gang right now.
T.I.,
T.I.P. and Clifford Harris.
There we go.
That's all the Hustle Gang. Shout out to T.I. though. That's the homie. Well, I don't personally know him, but he's a good dude nonetheless. Off of the rambling, Kev, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. The usual for me. So out here trying to make some moves.
Now, I wanted to bring this up. We talked about it in private, but I think this is actually something interesting for the ear hustlers to hear, as well as motivating as well. You had an epiphany recently.
Can we call it epiphany? Yeah, I guess we can call it an epiphany. Lately, I've been struggling with who I am. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that comes from me investing so much into basketball that when it got taken away from me, I didn't necessarily know how to react. And, and with that caused some depression. You know, I do have my ups and downs with that. But the past few days, I just been kind of really soul searching, trying to figure out who I was, man. And I'm trying to take over the world.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? If you listen to the show, you've heard me say I definitely want to have my hand in the filmmaking business. I want to write, I want to direct, I want to star in, but not just. I don't want to do that just for the fame and just to have money and to splurge and do shit. I want to do that and in turn be a philanthropist. I think my ultimate goal is to be a philanthropist and let that take me wherever it's going to take me. I want to be able to make some type of impression on not just on a person, but on this planet.
Right.
And I feel like if I can do the right things and portray the right, first of all, the real me, but the correct image, I think it can catch on. And the more and more it catches on, we can treat it like how the racist people do it. They teach their kids. You know what I mean? So let's say I'm
mad we're learning a lesson from the racism passed down from generation to generation.
Right, and that's what I want to do.
This son is a nigger. we don't like them. We don't like these kinds.
When you see them, you call them this. But
and you will be all right.
I just want to get into philanthropy and not on a minor scale, but on a big scale. I want to build schools. I want to make hospitals and grocery stores. And I want that to catch on. And then as it catches on, we get more and more black people starting to do this. Mm-hmm. And then we pass it down, you know. And we could eventually, and it may not happen in my lifetime, but we can eventually change the world for the better.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I think
and it all starts with your city. It all starts with your community, and then it expands from there.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Different people. You know what? I see what he's doing with this, and I want to do that. Prime example, I watched the Snoop, I don't know, who's called it a documentary?
It depends which one. Snoop has been talking on a lot of shit lately.
The football joint.
Oh, it's technically it's a docu-series.
Okay, a docu-series. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I watched that, and I was like, me and you've talked about it. I was like, that'd be dope to do. that's what I mean by catching on. He's potentially saving these young kids' lives. You know what I mean? I want to do something to that effect, but on a grander scale. I know I got to take my baby steps first, but for me, that's my ultimate end game. But to kind of find, if you will, where I feel like I fit in and who I am, it was a relief. You know what I mean? It was a big weight off my shoulders, and now it's just making the right moves. I look at it like I'm a month away from turning 29, so I got another 29 years left in the tank, and then another 29 after that.
I was about to say, like, we cutting it kind of early.
You know what I mean? I just feel like that's a lifetime. I lived a lifetime,
right?
And I got more lifetimes to live. So with that, I just want to do something that's positive, that's making a change, and something that's me.
Right. I tell people all the time, and it's never to make anybody worry or make anybody, feel bad about my story, because my story my story is unique to me, but I know other people can relate to it.
Right.
But I tell people all the time, I'm 28, I'll be 29 in October. I tell people that I've lived a full life, that if I was to die tomorrow, even though I don't want to, now let me make sure that's also out there, because a lot of people think, oh, this nigga's suicidal. But I truly feel as if I was to die tomorrow, I've experienced enough that I could say I've lived a full life. Now, granted, I would love to travel more, but there are people who don't get the opportunity to travel at all.
Right.
Especially me working in the hospitality industry. There's a lot of people that are saying, this is my first time in Vegas. Like, bro, you live in California. What do you mean this is your first time in Vegas?
Hours away.
So that to me, it shows me that traveling is on everyone's wish list, is on everyone's bucket list, but it's not something that everybody gets to, or even sometimes want to get to. So outside of traveling and starting a family, I've lived enough experiences to say that I've lived.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I know there's so much more than what I've already done.
Right. And I can kind of agree with those sentiments. Now I'm just in this place now where I'm like, I want to go beyond
exactly.
living. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I want to expand that. I want to experience new stuff. And
that's what I mean by, like, I've lived,
right?
Basically,
right.
And I want to do more than just live. I want to have new experiences. I want to
live with
timeless experiences. Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, I mean, every day that you're on this earth, you have a purpose.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily strive to find out what that purpose is. They just kind of go with the flow. And for a while, I was kind of going with the flow, and I realized going with the flow is exactly what the fuck it is. Going with the flow, you know what I mean? And I wanted to get out of that. So I'm like, I definitely plan on traveling more, definitely plan on doing this stuff, stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit more, and just experiencing new stuff. I can honestly say that I'm looking at life as a whole through a different set of eyes, and I just got to stay on the right track and go from there.
And one of the big things that I felt about the conversation we had earlier, which we technically just had now again, but is the philanthropy work. Like, I know, of course, we talked about it before, and we're speaking into existence not only because, if you speak into existence, it becomes a reality, but this is something that we're truly going to put together as Beat Network. But, we said we want to put together a youth basketball league, go about it the Snoop League way, hopefully have enough capital and enough support to not charge some of these youth, because a lot of just being completely honest, and you can look in the NBA and see a lot of these young, hungry basketball players who are like damn near league ready at 12 come from the worst neighborhoods, and they can't afford $200-300 a month to invest in, their future. So I would love to have a league that we don't have to take any money from anybody. Like, you got skill, you're going to earn your way on this team.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those leagues you pay, you're going to play.
You're going to play.
And I'm not trying. This is where I get a little arrogant. I'm not trying to have no trash niggas on my team for the issue of fairness. No, because I cuss you out like you're 26. Like, get your bum ass off the court.
Fuck you doing?
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But no, you hit it right on the head. I'm not saying I was league ready at 12, but I've been playing ball since I was 5. You know what I mean? I can remember the progressions I made, but I was one of those kids. We couldn't afford $200 to go to a basketball camp for a week. And that's just to get in the camp. That's not including what you may need. That's not including getting to the camp. You know what I mean? The ABC camp, I would have loved to go to camp. That's where usually all the top people, if you in the ABC camp and you're good, chances are you're going to the league.
Right.
I would love to go to that camp. I would love to do some of those things. So to put something on, like you said, and to make it to where we don't necessarily have to take from these parents, that'd be great. That'd be great. And like I was saying, it can expand to other people. You know what? I want to do something similar to that.
Right.
And we can kind of change this landscape.
And it creates opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because the biggest hurdle with anybody in life, I don't care what your social or economical status is, the biggest hurdle in life is money.
Absolutely.
And that stops anybody from doing anything. You know, and back when we were doing the Big Up series, like in the early stages, the embryonic stages of beating, it would be kind of dope to bring back. But back when we were doing the Big Up series, we featured a young man that I've known since he was a baby, Emeka Caesar. And that boy is a problem. Like when I say he's a problem, I mean he's wet from behind the arc. He has a crazy ass paint game. The nigga's stealing left and right. Like he looked like baby Kobe out there. And the crazy part about it, he's not even the best player. It's the little white boy that we saw on YouTube. He's like 13, 14 years old, saucing niggas up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you see that. Those are the motherfuckers that, I call kids motherfuckers. They tiny Hitlers, but I ain't gonna call them little motherfuckers. Those are the types that they have the talent and they have the capital to get in these kind of leagues. Now, I'm not saying everything in Emeka's life was easy. For me knowing the family, it wasn't. But they at least were able to invest into doing that. There are people out there who are just as talented, if not better, who will never see those opportunities because their mom is doing something crazy, their father ain't around, or if he is around, he on some bullshit, or they're in and out the system. I want to be able to create those opportunities, and not even just, with a basketball league, but anything.
Yeah.
To the point where people, they don't have to invest their hard-earned money to be a part of this. Like, no, if your kid has the talent and we view that he has the talent, no matter what it is, we're going to make sure he capitalizes on his talent. Because you can't halt a God-given gift just because you can't afford it.
Right. Exactly. And I think to go on with that, if we as adults can not only instill progression with these kids in the sport that they want to be in, but also in life. Imagine how much easier life would have been if in high school we had real life classes. So in my junior year, the only class that I can honestly say prepared me, even for a little bit, for the outside world, I had economics in my junior year. Mrs. Wong. By far one of the best teachers in every aspect of the word that I've had. And she prepared me for real life. I learned how to write a check. I learned how to balance it. It's just different stuff that they don't teach in school. So I think if we can get kids and get them into a program to keep them off the streets when they're not at school, but also instill in them real life shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then like you said, a lot of these kids, they don't have their fathers in there. I'm not saying I'm trying to be your father or anything like that, but I know how important my coaches were to me because I didn't have a father growing up. So it's always cool to be able to kind of give that back. You know what I mean? Even if you're just meeting with this kid for an hour or two a day, for that hour or two a day, you treat it like he's your kid. You want him to do great, him or her. You want them to do great. You want them to be correct and be who they are.
Right.
That comes from teaching, from learning. And right now I feel like our people especially, we aren't teaching the youth.
At all. And as much shit as the world talks about a black man in America, I can only speak on the experiences in America, but as much shit as the world talks about a black man in America, people definitely underappreciate the importance of a black male figure to a young person. Yeah. Like you said, you're not trying to be their father, but imagine a little black boy who never met his father. And you know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't have any other positive male role models, whether it was a teacher, an uncle, something, if you didn't have any other positive male role model, the only thing you would have grown up knowing is to be absent. Only thing you would have grown up knowing is I can get out of this no matter what.
Yeah, you're
because that's what the man that holds my last name showed me. I could bounce whenever the fuck I want to. Right.
You're creating a toxic environment that's going to keep continuing.
It's going to get, exactly. It just keeps rolling on. And even when it comes down to these little girls, if the only thing you're hearing is how shitless men are because of what your father did, granted, your father may be shitless because of how he did you.
Right.
But the only thing you're hearing is how shitless men are. You don't know who to trust growing up. And you know what I'm saying? You end up, halting, and not even in the sense of relationships, but you end up halting a lot of things, period, because you only know men in one light, if you're able to understand how a man is supposed to treat a woman, if you're able to understand how a man is supposed to be there for a woman, that transitions from this is my daddy's love to this is my partner's love. So you're able to, you know, sift through the bullshit. Now, again, that's not promised because there are a lot of shitless niggas out here that are manipulators through and through.
Right.
But just having that role model.
Yeah.
Being able to say, I'm able to look up to this person, like with Coach Snoop. A lot of those kids, when they grow up, they go, oh, yeah, I used to play for Snoop League. Snoop was my coach. Snoop did this for me. Snoop, and if you watch the show, Snoop done paid bills. Snoop done gave rides. Snoop done reunited niggas with their fathers.
Right,
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
And with that, he's also taught those kids something outside of football.
Right.
At the end of the day, you got to instill these kids that they can't play that sport forever.
Right.
So you want to give them skills that they can take outside.
Transitional skills,
outside.
definitely.
You know what I mean? But you're absolutely right. We gotta figure this shit out somehow.
Because it got to get figured out, and it's got to get figured out soon because it's only getting worse. Like you can see it getting worse by the year.
You're absolutely right. You're starting to see. It's crazy. We were just talking about this. In the terms of hip hop, we see what the younger generation is doing, we're not that far removed from them. Like there's not that big of a gap, but it's that big of a gap,
right? And it's a clear and present gap,
right? Right, and I can only see if things keep going the way they are, is going to become more and more gaps, and things are gonna. I'm not just talking about hip hop, but things are gonna spiral out of control. We got to reel this shit in.
Oh yeah, you heard it here on the Noize. Beat Network is for the families, and it's another thing we actually talked about before. Like, I'm really, really feeling the kickball tournament, like something yearly. You know, like we got.
When I was thinking about that, now again, I wanted to play kickball. I've been wanting to play kickball for a minute. But when I was thinking about that, I was like, it'd just be cool. If everything is going shit in a person's life, they know that on this particular day, at this particular time, they ain't got shit to worry about.
Right. Just go out there and have fun, man. I know we get some. Hey, man. I say we work on it. I say let's get some shit going. Together. Definitely. Getting off the positive shit. I have some gripes.
You got gripes?
I have some gripes. Well, I have one gripe, and then it's story time with Los.
Shit.
So first of all, let me start with my gripe. I am convinced every serial killer, mass murderer, package bomber started off as an angry driver. And in Vegas at that.
I want to know how you come to this conclusion.
Nigga, I was so ready to run this dude off the freeway. Bro, I was driving to work. And right there on Sahara, when you cross over the Rancho to hop on the 95, obviously you have the two left turn lanes, and then you have the two lanes that go straight, and you have the one right turn lane. You clearly see you are in the left turn lane. They'll have the blinker on the whole nine. So it's time to go. He finally cuts his blinker off and decides to hop in my shit.
He decided last minute he wanted to change
He
his
decided,
mind.
you know what? I want to get on the freeway.
I'm going somewhere else.
And you know what? And I knew his ass wanted to get on the freeway the entire time because he kept looking over. I'm like, he about to try some shit. But I can see in his car that his blinker's on. So he finally hops over and you know what his ass do?
Flick you off?
No, he back at me.
That's some shit I would do.
Now, I told you, I'm off of road rage. But it's road revenge, this motherfucker. So I had my black. It was like halfway done. I'm like, you know what? I'll get another one.
You flicked your black.
I was able to pull up and, you know, his window was down.
If somebody flicked their black at me, I don't care if I'm in the wrong or not. We fighting.
We got to fight. But guess what? We on the freeway. Oh. So if you don't get off on my exit, we never gonna see each other. Now, granted, if you want the static, if you want the smoke, I'm always with it. But I was just about to get off. I'm like, okay, cool. He about to go straight. As soon as I saw the opportunity, I saw it go in his car. I don't think it hit him though.
But still, he gotta find it.
That's his problem now. But it has nothing to do with me. I felt accomplished. And I'm like, see, had I been anybody else, if I had been Dylan Roof or some shit, like, and I'd just put 6 in the side of his car, I'd have pocked on Koval his shit.
Yeah. That's a fear. That's a fear because I'm be with the shits. I'll be like, damn, I gotta chill if I fuck around and get shot or something like that.
It's about timing. Like, I think it's a viral video that went out where this dude pulls up on the side of this white guy, or he looked Mexican. He's one or the other. And the white dude that pulls up on him wants to learn how to fucking drive, pal. Like talking mad shit. So the dude flicks him off. Fuck you, buddy. Pull over. Da-da-da-da-da. My man pulled out a gun. I've never seen a nigga hit the brakes so damn quick.
I've seen that video.
He was like, oh, yeah. Like super
I've seen
fast.
that video.
So it's like, obviously, those type of motherfuckers exist. So with your road revenge, you got to be strategic.
Yeah.
That's why it's the difference between road revenge and road rage. Because road rage is instinctive. It just happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Road revenge is like, how can I fuck up his day?
I've definitely
fucking
did
up my
both.
last 12 seconds.
I definitely did both. I've definitely did road revenge, but I've definitely had road rage. I think the last time I had serious road rage was my birthday. Not last year, the year before that.
I remember last year's birthday.
Yeah, me too.
Had a whole episode about it.
Yo, I'm staying in the house this year.
I'm celebrating
This year,
my
I'm
birthday.
telling y'all where we're going, if we're going somewhere, and we are there.
I'm celebrating my birthday with a tweet.
I'm not even driving that day. But no,
Can I ride with y'all?
but no, we were going to dinner. My chick is driving, and she has her blinker on. We need to get over till we gotta make a turn. She gets over just fine, but the car behind us, for whatever reason, he got mad at her. She truly did not do nothing wrong. So I flicked him off. Mind you, I'm in the passenger side. So he gets like, so I was like, oh, and I put my hand out the window and I was like, come on. This fool went up. He hit a U-turn. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to beat the brakes off. Bruh, my eyes lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree. I was about to beat the brakes off to that man. When he seen me step out the car, pew!
And see, that's another thing. And I'm bad for that too, because I did that a couple weeks ago. My man honked at me because the light just changed.
I hate that
As soon
shit.
as it green, like
do you
leans on the horn.
Do you hate if you're driving and you see the lights red and you get ready to slow down, and as soon as you come to like stop, the motherfucker turn green?
No, I love that.
I hate that shit.
I keep the same momentum.
I hate that because I'm like, I could have not stopped.
No, but that's why I ease up on it. Like, it looks like a drive, by the way. I creep up on red lights.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I do that, too. I'll start braking, man. If I see the lights been red, I'll start braking a little bit earlier. So by the time I get to it, it'll be green. But no, I hate when I
keep
get
the
to
momentum.
it, I stop, and I'll stop for like half a second. That bitch turn green. Yeah, I get upset.
No, but it's in that moment I'm surveying the whole thing. I'm looking at both lights. Okay, so that one's red, but this one's still green with the turn signal. So that means either this one's about to change or that one's about to change to red, and I can go. But anyway, my man leaned on the horn, and I hopped right the fuck about the car, man. When I tell you he got real humble, he got off that horn super quick and just sat back. I'm
He was
like,
oh, this nigga's
exactly.
real.
Relax.
This nigga is real.
Exactly.
Let me go ahead and go. Sorry.
And I'm a lot of nigga coming out of a car. You know what I'm saying? Especially back in the day when I had my accent. That's a little car. So I look like a clown coming out this motherfucker. But still, you didn't expect.
Hey, look, is it more of them?
Exactly.
It's coming out.
It's more nigga coming out this car. Like, so see my big ass come out of a Hyundai accent with the shits. I'm already mad 'cause I'm in this tiny ass car. And now you want to lean on your horn? Bro, I'll smack the shit out you right now. But now my story. This is when being
Wait, is this part 2 of shit?
No. It has nothing to do with road revenge. That was my gripe. I just
No.
truly feel-
I'm talking about the shit story. Is this another shit story?
No. And also to correct the shit story. So apparently they weren't drunk. He was already having stomach issues, and they may have been like talking already.
Whoa, wait. So you shitted and you wasn't even
He's
intoxicated?
in his natural state, yes.
Oh, I gotta meet her.
In his natural everyday state.
I got some questions for her. Let her know you go back. My co-host has some questions.
I was gonna bring
for
her on
you.
the show. I was gonna bring her on the show, and then I was like,
for that, yes,
to tell the
Yes.
story exactly. Then I was gonna take the mic to work and be like, I'm just gonna get this story separately, and then get on the show. But we missed a week, and then we just had a new conversation, so it was just kind of old at that point.
Oh, that ain't old.
Yeah, people do still ask about the shit story. To be
I will
honest.
bring that up.
But my new story, this is when keeping it real goes wrong. So the couple that lives across from me upstairs, I guess her dude put his hands on her.
Uh-oh.
You know, bitch nigga shit. So we over here, her brother, I'm sorry. They going at, they just jaw jacking big time. And I was like, man, fuck that shit, nigga. Come see me outside, you know, going off. And I'm like, oh, it's finna go down. He's like, no, you sitting. And I'm talking, the brother is losing his shit. Like, he is in full fledged. When me and this dude get outside, I'm gonna lump his shit up real good. No, you know what I'm saying? You sitting there with a black guy, this nigga in a black Joe out going off. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and do that shit for your sister. So dude finally agrees to go outside and fight him. And I got like, these stairs are like half metal, half concrete. So when you come downstairs, you know the niggas,
somebody coming downstairs.
And the fourth step was,
they angry too. Hell yeah.
I went to my window. I'm like, let's get this shit going. All of that gangster went out the door because my man brought a taser.
What?
Now, mind you, my man was, the brother was full of energy in the house, right?
What?
As soon as he got outside, it was, hey, put that taser down, bro. And it was the funniest thing because I had to move from the window because I'm like, they gonna see me.
That's crazy.
So only thing I hear is, hey, put that taser down, bro. And I imagine him looking like Shawn Wayans. I'm sorry, looking like Cuba Gooding Jr. when he got that gun pulled on him. And
he got his chin up.
Yeah, just got his chin up. You know what I'm saying? Just, but he looked ready. I'm just like, put that taser down, bro.
That's
whole time, like,
crazy.
no. He said, no, we gonna get him up. We're gonna get him up. We're gonna put that taser down.
So you
bro.
gonna talk shit, get outside, and then pull out a taser?
No, the boyfriend wasn't talking shit. They were just
no.
arguing.
I mean the brother. The brother.
The brother didn't have the taser. The boyfriend had the taser.
Oh, the
The boyfriend had the taser. So he's like, put that taser down, bro. This is the brother. And I was like, you know what? Kudos to you for fighting for your sister's honor. Even if it wasn't my sister, it could have been my best friend. Any nigga black in the eye of somebody I love and care about, you gonna get worse than what she got.
Yeah, we got
straight
issues.
up, no matter what.
We got issues.
But come on, man, you got to maintain that same gangster when you get outside because he went from rah to hey, put that taser down, bro.
So do you think? So you wanted the brother to just run up on him even though he had the taser there? Honestly, I would.
I'm about to say like
I would honestly. I still would have, honestly, because nigga, you only got one swing with that taser. I'm laying your ass
exactly. And if you don't connect, I'm as good as you
want
should,
to,
you know what I'm saying? And think about it, cops barely connect good with handheld tasers,
right?
So I'm not expecting some random cat from the block to really connect with this taser. That's one. Two, you just showed me that you are a pussy because you have a taser.
Yeah.
If you was a real black dude, you'd have a pistol, or you'd be good with the hands. You have the number one I'm scared weapon out there.
Yeah.
And that's a taser. You didn't even have a knife. You had a taser. He was ready to just a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So
were these people of our descent?
Of course.
That's crazy.
That's what we do.
That's crazy.
It was funny, but it wasn't funny. Cause I'm like, the situation wasn't funny. Like, dude, you blacked your girl's eye, you're a bitch. And if you listen to the show, understand you're a bitch.
And we can fight.
Taser or not downstairs.
Taser or not.
But I was crying laughing because it went from super hostility to, hey, put your taser down, bro. And I've come to the realization that the way I'm going to de-escalate situations from now on, I'm starting telling niggas, put your taser down.
Even if they ain't got a taser.
Like, as soon as it ain't about you having a taser. That's just how I de-escalate. Like, if you get too hot, like, first of all, you need to put your taser down, bro. All right, this is just us talking. You need to relax. That's just my new way of going about things now. Put your taser down, bro.
What I've learned in the many scuffles that I've had in my youth, I'm too old for this shit now. What I've learned is, if there's a lot of jawing and a lot of talking, ain't gonna be no fighting.
And that's why
I'm saying that's why me, as I got older and I was in certain situations where there could be a fight, I didn't say nothing. If I felt like I was gonna fight you, then we're fighting. You know what I mean? If I feel like I'm not, then I'm not even gonna entertain the situation. But I was always with the shit, so it was just I'm teeing off on you. But I've learned that if there's a lot of jawing, there ain't gonna be no fighting.
That's why I got into as many fights as I did in undergrad. Because it was too much jawing. And the whole time, dude, just yada, just chop, you know, you fat, yada, all this other stuff. I'm preparing. I'm like, watch is off, chain is off, you on my jacket, but are we fighting?
Right.
But are we fighting? Whole time he's jawing, but are we fighting? Okay, so you want me to make the decision for you. I'm going to be completely real. I should have gone to jail way more times than I did when I was in undergrad. Because I started damn near every fight. I'm like, you're not about to just sit here and just talk.
But see, it's different.
You're bringing this crowd in. I'm like, okay, there's a crowd here. You're calling me everything under the sun. Let's give him a show.
But see, to me, if you hit him first, to me, that's not you starting the fight. That's you being defensive. Your defense is your offense.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
That's how you win championships.
The fight started when we had a disagreement. When we couldn't come to this disagreement as civilized people, that's when the rift started. Mm-hmm. So unless I start the John, which I'm not going to do, you started this, I ended it.
Right. Ultimately, it's how it really goes down. I'm happy that The only fight I got into at my campus was with the cats from the campus across the street when they came over trying to call shit. That was like the only, I never had issues with anybody on my campus that led to fighting or they didn't want to lead to fighting, one or the other. Everything always happened at like Wright State or like the school across the street or at a random party in Dayton. It's some stories.
Have you had any fights outside of undergrad? Like when you was, all right, I'm grown, I'm out here in these streets. Have you had any?
No, and I'm happy about that because the experiences I've had growing up has put me in a different place. Like it's no longer let me just size this nigga up real quick, see where his chin and his chest at. Now I'm like, there's a good chance you want to kill me, and I'll be damned if I go down.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not looking to fight anybody now because they don't break up fights when you're an adult. They just let you rock.
Right.
The only people that break up fights as an adult is cops.
Definitely not looking for it, but I'm always with.
I'm definitely with
it. But the way I approach it is, I got a little one I got to get home to. I have to get home the same way I left home. So you're not. You got to. It's like that. It's like the track The Watcher. When Dr. Dre's like, I got a family. You really want to do this?
And that's the funny thing. I ain't got a little one to get home to. So I'm like, once that's introduced, I know that I'm not even gonna fight. Matter of fact, prime example. When me, my brother, my cousins, we all got jumped by, I can't even like over exaggerate. It had to be at least 12 or 13 of these dudes.
Jesus
we
Christ.
got jumped downtown, and I told you about this. We got jumped downtown, and one dude, my brother was on top of this dude just beating his chin in. Shout out to Jay Alonzo. And another dude runs up and tackles my brother off of him. So again, I'm at this place now I know I got hands, but let's get this over with quicker.
Yeah.
So I grab him by his neck, guillotine style, and I just stand up because dude was like 5'9". I'm 6 feet. I saw him grab my neck and I stand up and he's just swinging. That's when I ended up getting maced by the fucking security guard. It was outside the Golden Gate Hotel. Oh. So I'm all like, you see us getting fucked up. You decided to mace me?
Because you had somebody in the sleep.
Because I had somebody. And it was crazy because I literally felt his life leaving his body.
That sentiment you said, that I'm trying to get this shit over with. Boy, if that ain't been my thought process.
That's just really when you become an adult.
I'm trying to end your shit with one punch.
Exactly. You ain't got time. Dude, when you look at people boxing, people think 3 minutes is quick. Actually, go head up with a nigga for 3 minutes. You're going to be winded. And that's without training.
Yes, I'm telling you right now. With training, you can't wait for that bell to ring when you train.
McGregor ain't made it out of round 6.
Bruh.
He was super windy.
And you know he got wind.
Exactly.
So, you're trying to get it over as soon as possible.
And we getting jumped at that. So I'm like, I'm not about to try to go head up with you when your boy can run up and do this. Even the female that cut my cousin's ear off. Like,
oh my God.
It was a real night. It was a very real night. Well, ex-cousin. It was a cousin-in-law. Okay. Anyway, it was a real night. Like, shit was going on all over the place. So I'm like, if I'm going to get punched, if I'm going to get stabbed, if anything's about to happen to me, I'm going to kill him first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way. I'm not going down alone.
Right.
No
the way I look
what.
at it is if you going to make this a shitty situation, I'm about to make this the epitome of a shitty situation.
Exactly. Like, y'all want to see a shitty situation? I can get this stitched. If he stops breathing, that's that.
Right.
Like, y'all got a well bigger situation on your hands than what I got.
Right.
Give me a couple stitches. I'm good.
I got stitches. You got funeral arrangements.
Exactly. One is way more expensive than the other because I got insurance. I got a $20 copay. I mean, don't get me wrong. We don't mean to just joke about death and shit like that, but that's true. When you're in those kind of situations, your only mindset is to survive.
Yeah.
So the way he tackled Jay off a dude, I knew that if other dude got up, they were going to double team him, and that could have ended bad.
Right.
Because these dudes were on it. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as dude tackled Jay and was trying to pin him to the ground, I just grabbed him by my neck and I just stood up. I stood up straight, got on my tippy toes so his shit can hang for a little bit.
You gonna feel this.
You gonna feel this. And then, when they ran off, my man was still wobbly because he was blacking out. But I ain't had time. I'm not had time to be fighting. Now when we getting jumped by 12 dudes, no, there's none of that. Mm-mm. And of course, cops come. Do you guys want to press charges? We was like, nah. Just, let us rock 1-on-1 though each, and we'll see what the turnout comes.
I wish there'd be some shit in the man. Y'all go head up. Police tell me go head up, boy. I'm gonna beat the dog shit out of you
one by one. I'm gonna be winded by dude 12.
Dog shit out of you.
We definitely gonna head up for sure. Definitely. But yeah, man, I say all that to say, don't be a bitch and put your taser down,
Protect your neck.
Oh shit. So, getting back to something that you said with this generation, and I also want to say this since we're getting on the conversation itself. I am so glad I was able to do some research on the actual generation gap. Mm-hmm. A lot of these cats are not millennials. Granted, we got a lot of retarded millennials in the latter half of it, but we are officially in Generation Z. These are the mid to late 90s on. So that's when you have cats like Tekashi 6ix9ine. Now, let me say this. When we talked about it before, I don't think his music is bad. I just don't like his music.
I've never heard anything from him. I honestly don't care to.
And that's your prerogative. But I'm really, I'm really a hip hop dude and I like to be able to formulate my opinions with certain cats. And Tekashi, he has he may have been too late. Even though he's buzzing like a motherfucker. But as far as for our enjoyment, he may have been too late because he has that Onyx, DMX, MOP type, music or whatever. And I know we fucked with it then. So it's like, if this was a different generation or whatever, maybe. But what keeps me from truly fucking with him is who he is as a person. And that Breakfast Club interview really showed me
that's why I won't listen to his music.
You're not as with the shits as you're trying to, say that you are. To me, he openly admitted that he, one, is a statutory rapist, right. And two, that he's really just a troll. He's not really with the shits. Yeah.
I can tell by that interview he's not really with the shits either. You said it's funny. You said that he has music like the Onyx, DMX, and to me, I actually like that music. But I think why we like that music coming up is because the people that making it, we know that they probably would really do a lot of the shit that they're talking about. You know what I mean? So when you get somebody like...
We've seen Onyx press niggas. We've seen DMX press niggas.
So when you get somebody like Tekashi that is perpetrating it, you can't even enjoy the music.
Right.
It's to me, it's like the R. Kelly syndrome. I can't enjoy R. Kelly's music. That's how I feel with Tekashi.
Even though the man has hits,
I can't give him that
stream.
I'm exactly. I can't give you that stream because I know if shit was to go left, you're running.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't. Or you're gonna have your boys try to do something. I can't.
And that's exactly who Tekashi is. And what really pissed me off in that interview was when he was saying, you got whole grown adults in their 30s really trying to see me But that's where we come from.
No.
If you telling another grown man, there's two things you can't tell a man. You can't call him a pussy, and you can't tell him to suck your dick. You're being blatantly disrespectful.
Yeah.
So if you're telling a grown man...
Ironically, the last fight I got in, dude called me a pussy.
Exactly.
He took 2 jabs, went to sleep, and I got kicked out of the gym. But that's different.
And that was that. but just on some for real man shit. You can't tell another man, suck my dick, I'm not checking in when I come to your city. And then they show up to be like, okay, so you're not checking in, so let's have a conversation. You can't be mad at any of that. You're like, man, and then you walk around claiming you were blood and not understanding the significance of checking in. That's where the confusion comes from. Now, before I dive even deeper into what Tekashi's talking about, I grew up in L.A. Mm-hmm. I lived in the jungles. Mm-hmm. I know about the gang culture, the whole nine. I'm noticing... And if you bang outside of LA, I guess I am talking to you. So maybe somebody could explain it. If you're thorough, then definitely let me know. But outside of Los Angeles, gang culture is very different, especially in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. We've caught too many entertainers with blue flags on, with green flags on. And then out of nowhere, everyone became a blood. They just had open membership one day.
After Lil Wayne, then everybody became a blood.
How Planet Fitness be having their little specials. I feel like the Bloods had a special everywhere else, 50% off. So you slap box instead of getting jumped in. It had to be something as simple as that because you look at Tekashi. Mm-hmm. He has pictures in blue rags with a shit ton of Crips. You look at Birdman, blue rags, throwing up the sea.
Yeah.
So it's when did it become such a trendy thing to be a gangbanger. Like
I told you when Lil Wayne did it. Think about it. When Lil Wayne came out with the first Carter, and he was making it apparent that he was a blood, and that's when it transcended. Nobody else, but the only gang member that you knew of probably would have did something back then was Snoop.
And he really wasn't doing anything. Like,
right.
Snoop was more with the shits during the East Coast, West Coast beef. But
Snoop was a hustler, but a gang member by association. That's what I look at that. He wasn't out there trying to, them bloods over there. Because he admit he has blood homies.
Back in those times, the out of the Bloods, Suge was gonna get his hands dirty, and out of the Crips, you knew Trey D or Goldie Loke from the East Side was gonna get their hands dirty. Other than that, it was a respect thing. Like you just knew what it was. Nowadays, you can put on whatever flag you want to, claim affiliation to whoever, but then it's like, who are you claiming? And they seem to always turn out to be Bloods.
Yeah, they do. I will agree with you there. What I'm thinking is, because I've only noticed it with Bloods or Crips. Now we have different gangs throughout the country. Right. But you don't hear this with the GDs. You don't hear this with the Vice Lords. You don't hear this with Latin Kings. You don't hear this. You only hear it with Bloods and Crips.
Right.
And the only thing I can think of is, far as the gang, that particular gang culture expanding eastward, if you will, I think it's a lot of the gang members or former gang members who either got ran out of their city, who did some fucked up shit. They can go back to LA. To me personally, I feel like everybody that's immersed in that gang culture and that's still in LA are really immersed in that particular gang culture. Now, I'm not saying this to say that if you're a Blood or a Crip and you don't live in LA that you're not with the shits. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is how I feel that particular thing started is way back when a lot of the people in LA couldn't rock with it no more, still kept their affiliation, but just moved, started their own shit.
And that's how we know it. But as far as false flagging and switching the flag and everything like that, to me, that shit is weird. Because where else would that fly? Like the only time you can see somebody wearing somebody else's flag is when you have those unity situations. When you look at the protests and shit like that. It's just been going on through history. Whenever it was time for black people to come together, you see cats tying the flag up, you see them switching flags, the whole nine. But you don't see that like nowadays in just everyday life, I'm this until this is no longer cool to do, and now I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Since everybody's a Blood, and this I guess circles back to Tekashi. Like, how thorough are you? What work have you put in? Like, who's your big homie? Like, it's so many questions when it comes down to Tekashi 6ix9ine. And he was talking about a situation that he didn't want to check in Houston during the World Star concert. Again. You from this block that everybody says that you're from, but you don't understand checking in. You're coming to this dude's city. You're coming to this dude block. We can't say they own the whole city. You coming to this dude block. You flagging. You arrogant. You boisterous. You the whole nine. But you're from a gang. So you should know, like, yo, I'm in the city. I'm doing this, that, and the third.
And little stuff like that is why eventually, and this is sad to say, I honestly hope it doesn't happen. I won't see nobody get harmed, but this is why that kid could potentially get harmed.
Right.
Because he's not respecting that particular gang culture.
Right.
Honestly, that's his fault and that's his camp's fault because they've inflated that boy's head so much that he truly feels like he can walk around and not get touched.
Let his nuts hang, as he calls it.
As he calls it. Everybody can get touched. We just sat here and had a full conversation about kicking people's asses. We can still be touched. Have yet to have that truly happen, but it can potentially happen. And that goes to show these younger generations, they just don't care.
Because their biggest thing is being viral.
Clout. They want the clout.
One thing I took from Tekashi's interview is, and I'm gonna give him, I give credit where credit is due. I respect anybody's business mindset. One thing with Tekashi, he is very much so self-made. I can't think of a single person who's ever said I banged with Tekashi. I can't think of a single artist that has actually stamped him. He next up, the whole nine. Everything about him, he did for himself. That is the positive of his career, and that's his biggest negative as well. Because the only thing I took from the interview is that he's a troll.
Yeah.
He's a troll with enough dudes in his pocket to say that he's a gang member, to say that he is from a block. And he's just out there to just piss people off. And then once it happens, it's like, oh, where did this come from? Where did all this hostility come from? Like, dude, you out here telling people to suck your dick on the internet? Like, that's not gonna get to him.
Right. I think one of his biggest downfalls is his camp. He doesn't. He's a young kid. He doesn't have nobody older than him. Problem is, he doesn't have no big homies. I mean, obviously, because he's not really affiliated, but he doesn't have any big homies to sit here and tell him like, bruh, I get it. You want to be this person. You want to be tough and so on and so forth. I'm not saying that you're not, but you can't go around blatantly disrespecting people and expecting nothing to happen. And when it does happen, you want to look like, oh, I'm just a kid. You wasn't a kid when you was telling people to suck your dick.
Exactly.
You was a grown ass man then. You was a grown ass man when you calling people a pussy. It's funny because I've noticed like 18, 19-year-olds, they quick to call themselves a grown ass man when they feel like they got the upper hand on an individual. But the minute some real shit is brought to the table, you want to fuck with kids. You want to fuck with the kid with the rainbow hair. Why you care so much about us? You want to fuck with the kid with the rainbow hair. Well, the kid with the rainbow hair wanted to step off the porch. Right. So come get your ass beat.
Exactly. And that's why I said he's a troll for that exact reason. So you heard the same shit I heard. Mm-hmm. You talking about, man, you over here, you 30, you 40, you getting mad at me, you fucking around with the kid with the rainbow hair. Nigga, you're also a blood, aren't you?
Right.
So you also know how this get down. First of all, I think Cardi B is probably more thorough than what Tekashi is.
Yeah.
That's just that. But if this is the lifestyle you chose, I'm not saying you got to just run around going and just proving your G to everybody. You ain't got to go around proving your G status to everybody. But what you're doing with your alleged affiliation, that's automatically a problem. I mean, and we had the conversation before. A dude that he ended up talking shit about, YG, who we know is from Bompton.
And you know what? and just to say this, as much as I truly believe that kid needs a swift kick in the ass, I hope YG don't catch no case. I hope YG got enough people in his camp to be like, well, I get it. I get it. You got every right to be upset, but don't catch no case. Don't throw away what you're building because of this dumbass. He's going to get himself out. Tekashi will not be here in a year and a half.
If that.
You know what I mean? He will not be here, whether it be somebody picking him off, whether it be the music not flowing. He's not sticking around in this particular industry. Let that kid phase himself out. I truly hope YG doesn't catch no case behind this kid.
I hope he doesn't. And really, I hope his camp doesn't either, because that's a direct connection to him.
Right.
You know, and again, just getting back to YG, you know, everyone remembers that video of all them Crips came to his show and started banging on him. YG stopped in the middle of the show to bang back.
Yeah, YG's definitely with the shits.
Tekashi didn't even get on stage at the World Star event. Now, YG knew what neighborhood he was in. YG knew who was in attendance, and nothing stopped him. Now, granted, always move smart.
Right.
So I could understand not getting on stage, but this is where you need to recognize that you are more of a troll than what you think you are as a gangster, because you're not. And he said in the interview, you know, he's willing to kill or be killed for this shit, but you finessed every situation you've ever been in. He considers it not being stupid.
Watching that interview, he showed his immaturity, through and through. The statement you just said is you ready to die? You ready to die for what? Some shit that you are not truly affiliated with? You know what I mean? You're ready to die for some shit because that you're technically starting. You know what I mean? Don't step on nobody's toes and get mad when they kick you for it.
Right. It was an interview full of contradictions.
Shout out to Charlamagne. And that's only
definitely. Because
if I was in Charlamagne's shoes, the way that man would have blooded me a little bit too many more times and they would have been holding me back or something. I've been to backhand that kid.
Obviously, gang culture has changed.
Yeah.
Because anybody can be whatever the fuck they want to.
Yeah.
Even if you're not even a real blood, you're out here pressing real bloods. Like, you're out here pressing Game. You're out here pressing YG. Nipsey Hussle don't even want to talk about you. You know what I'm saying? That's how not welcome you are in L.A. But outside of that, trolling has gotten so big that you are the toughest nigga on the block because you uploaded this 30-second video talking shit. It's not until one of these little dudes get touched, it's not going to go away, unfortunately. And Charlamagne hit like you said, shout out to Charlamagne. He hit the nail on the head. Like, eventually, you're going to have to answer to this. Everyone gets caught slipping. Tekashi has shown you he will make sure he is not in position to ever have to stand for that. Now, that's either genius finessing or that's tucking your tail.
When I look at him, to me, it's more tucking his tail.
I see that.
You know what I mean? Because I was a video where he was in L.A. And it was him. It was him, and he had some people with him. They got into a fight with 2 dudes. It was like 4 people against 2 dudes, and these 2 dudes held their own. Tekashi did not throw a single punch. After the shit started to kind of get broken up and everybody being scattered, then he wanted to run in and kind of do something. He's not really about that life when it comes down to it. He's really, really not. And like you said, everybody can get caught slipping. I remember the time I got caught slipping. I was beefing with some dudes. It was a lot of them. It was going on for a long time. I had went and I walked my chick at the time to the bus stop. This was high school. We wasn't driving. And 4 dudes caught me slipping, and they whooped my ass. Now, in hindsight, I caught each one of them individually, but that's a different story. That just goes to show everybody can get caught slipping. I got caught slipping on a Sunday morning at like 10 a.m. Got my ass worked over. The same thing could potentially happen to this kid, but he's just too ignorant to really be like, you can still be tough if that's what you truly feel you are, but be wise about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a reason why you at least me, I tend to listen to the older OGs who actually been something. Not because they've been something, but because they made it to this far. So they gotta have some type of wisdom.
So why do you think, just in the era that we're in hip hop, and I guess in heavy quotes gang culture, why do people feel as if being a troll is the equivalent of being brave or even being a G? And then niggas pull up on you. Like, why is being a troll the new gangster?
That's a hard one. You know what? I think it's for the RTs, it's for the favorites, it's for the likes. It's all in all, it's for clout. Think about it. Trolls right now are the biggest people on the internet. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you have people who dedicate their lives to making somebody else act irrational.
Right.
It's all for the clout. It's all, let's see how many people I can get riled up. Many people I'm riled up, now I'm viral. Now somebody's paying attention.
Right.
I think it's a combination, for me, it's a combination of they want that clout, and they're not comfortable in their own skin. They feel like they gotta have some type of attention. They gotta have somebody looking to check to see what they're doing. The younger generation does not know how to build by themselves.
And, you know, I look at the trolls and stuff like that. They all want some kind of fame to get over a talent that they may or may not have. Like, I look at, was it a Bonk Gang and Fatboy SSC?
I want to smack the shit out of that kid, too. Like, I wish I would be at work and this thing come in there acting stupid. Oh, I'm whooping your ass. I'm whooping your ass.
Like him, Fatboy SSC. Who else got on just from trolling? I guess it would be
that one cat.
Tekashi.
That one cat, that big black buff dude, he'll go up to some guy. I want to fuck your wife, boy. You been caught 2 hot ones
real quick.
Don't.
But that's the thing. He isn't. He was just legitimately being a troll. I'm talking about these cats that are trolling acting like they're gangsters.
Okay,
and then utilizing that popularity to get their album out. You know, utilizing that popularity to sell records. Now, is it smart business? Yeah, because social media sells itself.
Right.
You know, once you're viral, you're viral. There's nothing, no matter what you put out.
You can't be unviral anymore. Whatever you put out, once it's viral, it can't be retracted.
You can't take it away.
Right.
You know, and then if you put out something else and you already established this following, you're going to continue that viral success. But you're doing all this and you're trying to transition this into a rap career, and then you're trying to use the trolling, you're trying to use all these situations of, oh yeah, I've been doing this, that, and the third, and turn it into a career like that. That's why I'm like, how is trolling the new gangster? Like with the Bonk Gang dude. Only thing you seen him do was steal from people. But yet he is so
break shit.
But yes, he's convinced he is the most hood nigga alive. You know what I mean? Like trolling is literally the new acceptable version of gangster, because they weren't afraid to do certain stuff like this. But guess what? When they get pressed, it's all humility then, and it's all, you know what? You're right. I ain't gonna come to your city.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I truly don't know what makes those. I don't even want to say kids, because it's the majority of it's kids, but a lot of them are like people
close
1 or 2
age.
years younger than us. I truly don't know. I don't know if they just feel like they have to do it in order to get whatever they're trying to push out, or I don't know. It's weird to me. Like I feel like sometimes I'm stuck in a different time zone. Like it's weird to me how they act. And the crazy thing is they can act that way on their phone and it reaches millions of people
every day.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Me personally, I think it starts. There aren't no OGs that can kind of put a leash on these little niggas, and people just want that bag, and they willing to do anything they can get it. Sadly, though, the way that the rest of the world is moving, eventually, Ball Gang gonna get his ass shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Eventually,
he couldn't do that in the 90s.
Right. They would have been. He would have been cut that shit out.
Let him try to run out of a Korean store.
Shot the shit out of that boy. I think him. Yeah. I think people like him. He definitely wouldn't make it back then. I think he doesn't have nobody that's definitely telling him, nigga, why the fuck are you wilding like this? Why are you doing X? I was saying with Tekashi. He doesn't have nobody that's telling him. With the interview, the dude that spoke on his behalf, you can tell he was a little bit more educated. You can tell he's done this before, but he should have been somebody answering the question truthfully. Yeah, I feel like Tekashi should be doing X, Y, and Z, but if this is who this person say he is, I can't tell him to be other than who he's truly is.
The reason that he's not because he don't want to fuck with his bag.
Oh hell no, he don't want to fuck with that bag.
And that's the gotcha.
He's a yes man.
We're funding these kind of things. Mm-hmm. We're funding these kind of activities and these kind of mindsets and these kind of success waves. Heavy quotes on that as well. Because the way he answered it, he finessed it. He was like, "I'm not from his generation," and
that's the first thing he said. I'm not from his generation.
He kept saying that over and over, but then he also kept trying to justify.
Yeah, you don't have to be from somebody's generation to recognize stupidity.
Like that was his way of removing himself from the situation, but then also trying to explain to someone in his age bracket of the situation. And when you justify stuff like that, it just continues.
I would never justify stupidity, whether it comes from a friend, whether it comes from somebody I don't know. I'm not going to justify stupidity, but I'm willing to work with you to figure out how we can figure this out.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I really care about you, we're going to figure this out because I'm not going to let you make a fool of yourself and then have other people asking, where's this big homies at? Why don't somebody take his phone? Why don't somebody to do X, Y, and Z? You potentially could be saving this kid's life because he's playing with fire right now.
And it's with that exact situation. It creates a dangerous environment because now it's seen as a sign of respect. Like it's seen as a way of getting respect. That if you're brave enough to go to somebody's hood and jump on their block or do just anything random just be viral. Oh yeah, man, he dope. He really with it. He really with it. He not scared of none of these cats. Yes, he is. And I'm not even talking about Tekashi. I'm talking about these dudes in general. Mm-hmm. Even though I laughed at these videos all the goddamn time, but the what is his name? Like, what is you doing, baby? The two dudes. There's a black dude and it's like a Hispanic dude.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't remember his name, but it's the black dude. He'll be talking in this weird voice while the Hispanic dude is dancing. And in the middle of his dancing, he'll just like knock over a bunch of shit and take off.
No, you're not. You're not doing it in my store. You're not doing it at my business. See, that's where these kids fuck up at because they don't understand that when you go into these establishments, whether it's a major chain or not, you're fucking with somebody else's money. Mm. You know what I mean? Let's say if I got a little corner store or something like that, and you come in there doing some wild shit to get retweets, nigga, you're fucking with my bread.
Right.
You're fucking with my daughter's bread. So one of the two things gonna happen. Either you're not gonna do this shit or you're not gonna make it out of this store. Unharmed. Yeah, you're not gonna make it out of this store unharmed. You're gonna learn a lesson today.
You will be taught.
You will be taught something. Whether it be just don't fuck with me or whether it be maybe I need to switch up how I move.
Right.
You're gonna learn something. And these kids won't get it until something happens.
At this point, it's hard for me to take anybody serious, only because I know this is the era of trolling. Mm-hmm. I say that in relation to who was it? Lil Xan talking about Pac's music is boring. I be plugged in all the damn time. But Lil Xan talking some Pac's music is boring, and then there was another dude, can't remember his name. He was talking about Pac wasn't no real gangster, which is true. He wasn't a gang member. He wasn't. He believed in this the idea of thug life, but Pac wasn't a gang member. So. But the fact that he was blatantly disrespecting Pac, he knew that was going to go viral.
Yeah.
He knew it. And
he knew it, and it worked because I think the next. I think now I know what you're talking about. He's the little. Is he white or Hispanic?
I don't know.
He's the one that got the tattoos underneath his eyelids.
He's very beige.
Okay, yeah.
No matter what he is.
I think right after that, he had on a Tupac shirt.
Yeah.
So he absolutely knew that video was going. He was trying to get his clout game.
Lil Xan saying that Pac was boring. Lil Yachty saying that Biggie was overrated. All of this shit, they knew it was going to go viral. So it's strategic. Like, it's very, very strategic. Like, no one's going to come. If you said Pac was whack back in like the early 2000s, it's not viral. People are going to clown you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. But because it is a news story, it is a hip-hop news story, when somebody from this new generation of rap says somebody from the old generation of rap, specifically Pac and Big, are trash, then it's like, oh, no, Double XL, Complex, we all got to talk about it. Like, we're making these niggas famous. We're making them popular, and we're making it cool to give these dudes the light. All it takes is for you to say, this person that y'all hold so near and dear to your heart is trash. 3 million views. Yeah. 150,000 shares. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, I can't take none of these dudes seriously because you're doing this obviously to be popular.
Yeah.
Like,
to me, I look at a lot of these kids like they definitely couldn't have been the popular kids in school.
They couldn't, dude. They all were nerds.
They had to be.
Even said it himself. He said, "Man,
oh no, I can hear the way Yachty talk and the way he is. I can look at him and tell him he definitely wasn't getting no.
He was saying, he was like, I didn't get girls, I didn't get money. Now I got money, and I got girls. I'm like, so you're admitting that you was lame? Like, it's weird. But that's the beauties of the tech generation. Now all you gotta do is get online, make something that's just viral enough. Kyle. Prime example.
Who?
I spy with my little eye.
I hated that. Every time I heard that, I clicked it. I didn't know that guy's name was Kyle.
His rap name is Kyle.
Okay.
And when you hear him do interviews and stuff like that, I'm like, there's no way you were any kind of, not even popular, but just normal in high school. There's no way.
When nigga make his single a nursery rhyme, like absolutely not.
You hung out with the dudes that was in junior year Yu-Gi-Oh battling.
I was just about to say Yu-Gi-Oh. Yachty was playing Yu-Gi-Oh too.
You know what I'm saying?
He was definitely playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
So it's like, obviously they weren't those dudes, but now they have this popularity because the times have changed so much. And more power to them from that aspect, from going to a place of not being popular, no one checking for them, for them being checked for. Mm-hmm. So again, I don't shit on anybody's hustle. Get yours.
Get your bag. Takashi, you said you got a daughter, my nigga? Get your bag for your daughter.
Exactly. But
all I'm telling you is you playing with fire. That's it.
You're playing with the hottest form of fire.
Right. You playing with that blue fire that was on Hades, on Hercules.
You know what I'm saying? All in all, the entire situation with the trolling, with the buying your way in the gangs, it's a dangerous situation. Because at the end of the day, unless you're a direct threat to me, I don't want to see any black man, any brown man, I'll be honest, any white man. I don't want to see anybody lose their life chasing fame.
Right.
I don't want to see anybody lose their life chasing respect. Trying to make sure that, you're known on the block. Great. That's perfect. They're not going to put that on your tombstone. Though.
Right. Being known on the block ain't going to get you that bag.
At all. It's not going to get you that bag. It's not going to do anything for your family that you got here. It's not going to change anything. At the end of the day, you can't take none of this shit with you.
You can't use respect to buy your mom a new house out the hood.
You can't pass down respect to your kids.
you just can't.
Now, granted, they'll be protected, but we've seen in many situations that when this big homie get killed and then his kid grow up and want to be in the culture and be in the lifestyle, and like, you know what? No, you're nothing like your dad, so you're going to die too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, you can't pass down respect. You can pass down equity. You can pass down your finances.
Right.
I
can pass you down this business. I can pass you down this format on how to be successful.
Right.
But that's about as far as it goes. That's
about as far as it gets. But respect on the block. What if y'all move? After Big Homie get killed,
I always thought about that.
Like, be here no more.
like the block I grew up on. If my son was to go back there, my dad grew up on this block. Nigga, so he don't live here now.
He don't live here no more.
Right. They ain't lived here in years. I don't know, man. I pray for these young kids because they lost. I feel like our generation is lost to a certain extent, but this younger generation is truly lost. And like I was trying to figure out when we were talking in the car.
They're the smartest dumb motherfuckers ever.
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely. Like you were born in the tech era. You weren't born in the analog era like we were. We had to adapt to this tech era. You came with it.
It's still shocking us to see half the shit happening
right.
Like,
right.
Bro, the day I was able to get on the internet on my phone, and I was only born in '89, when I was like, wait, so I could do more?
I can look up
I
stuff.
go on the website. It's gonna take me 10 minutes to load it, but I can go on the
do
internet.
This?
That blew my head. Nowadays,
Man.
it's like, you know, a kid born in 2000, like, man, you whack, man. My 4G cracking right now.
Exactly. The kids now, man, they just lost in it, and it's sad because our generation, unfortunately, is gonna be the ones to try to pull them out of it, not as a parents or anything, but as peers. But we don't even know how to do it.
The one thing about our generation where the divide is so ignorant is because you have these trolls, you have these dudes chasing fame through viral success, and then you have the other half, at least when it comes to black people, you have the other half who are just about unifying the culture and pushing the culture forward, becoming one. Granted, we have our own internal issues, but we're fighting to change the stigma. That's one thing I have seen. I've seen more peace in the community nowadays than I've seen in quite some time.
I can agree with you with that.
You know, and we talk about it on the show. Wait, did we talk about it on the show or did we talk about it outside? Like when you, as a black man, you walk down the street, you see another black man, it's a head nod. What's happening?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Usually, yeah.
Usually. Now, granted, you'll get the few here and there that's sizing you up.
Right.
But other than that, like even at my job, like I walk past a black dude, you know, it's head nod. I think they even made a joke on, it was either the Cleveland Show or Family Guy. And no, it was Family Guy because Peter asked another black dude who was on the show, the other black gentleman, do you know him or is that just custom? You know, because it's natural. Just, you know, you see another black man, you don't need to know the man's name, you need to know anything, but you know, as a black man, we share something.
We share something. We share this struggle.
We share.
We
this
share,
struggle
regardless
together.
on your upbringing or my upbringing. We share this struggle,
and it's always it's one of three. What's going on, brother? What's good, my nigga? Or what up, black man?
Especially when you see the older cats, you give them the head now. How you doing, brother? Oh, I can't call it. Can't call it.
and it's just love from
the fuck
there.
Can't you call it, nigga? What you mean you can't call it? You can't call what?
Hey, but that is true though, because a lot of times,
and it's usually the older cats.
But it trickles down because the response is never positive. What's going on, brother? Can't call it. Just another day.
Or, what's going on? Oh, you know, slow motion. No, I don't know what that means. What are you talking about, slow motion?
We got to get better at the call and response as black people. But I would definitely say nowadays there's more love when you come across a fellow person of color.
Yeah. The way I look at our generation, even though we have our flaws, and our flaws can be very big.
Flawed than the motherfucker.
I feel in my heart of hearts that our generation will be the one to change the tide. Oh, yeah. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying we'll see that tide change in our lifetime.
It's not going to be smooth either.
Right, but I think the beginning of that changing of that tide, that changing of the guard, I think that's going to start with our generation.
We got to get rid of trolls.
And I think eventually that'll happen. I think eventually that's going to happen. Unfortunately, man, with a lot of the stuff that we're seeing now, as we get older, these younger kids get older, and then I think we need to make it a responsibility for the kids after them to not be like the kids that were before them.
And that's the weird thing. I don't see trolling going anywhere only because the idea of I can't be touched. Shout out to my boy Junior the Truth. I ain't gonna put his whole name out there, but he does the Zone podcast where he mostly talks about boxing, and he had a troll. They used to come at him crazy on every episode that he did, you know. But he wouldn't use he wouldn't use a picture, you know, just a little
egg, something stupid,
egg or a little gray profile picture or whatever. So I don't know how he was able to do it, but he was able to triangulate to this man's house. So he hits him up. He gets in his inbox and seriously, if y'all get a chance, look up Junior the Truth on YouTube and type in troll. You'll find the video up there.
If you, a lot of ways you can find it is if you if they're commenting on stuff, you can check find their IP address. If you can get somebody's IP address, you can find out where they're at.
Yeah, but a lot of times, especially nowadays with the tech era being so crazy, they go through system blockers.
Yeah.
Like think about when we started with social media, what was it, Black Planet? We thought it was cool to add GIFs and songs that took our pages 10 minutes long to load.
Yo, MySpace and Black Planet had us coding. That's a six-figure salary.
Exactly.
We ain't know
That's
nothing.
what I said. We're the smartest dumb generation ever. But it's exactly that. To us, that was a lot. Nowadays, you have so many third-party sites and apps that you can go through your app with that you can set up a different IP. Like, they're literally setting everyone up to be terrorists, ultimately.
Yeah, true.
But, he was able to triangulate to where his house was, find out exactly who he was. And he inboxed dude. He's like, look, so-and-so, who lives at so-and-so, and then inboxed the picture to him. This trolling shit ain't cute.
Stop it.
Everyone can be touched.
Exactly.
He said he ain't trolled me since.
Exactly. That's situations like that is what I learned in the industry, especially working and dealing with customers. Now, my last job, customers didn't know what information I can see on their screen.
Right.
I had access to not only your address, but usually where you work, how much you paid for your house. I know what your deed looks like. I had so much information to the point that if I really wanted to do something, I could do something. So I used to always be weary of the customers that would talk to me crazy like, bruh, I can pull up.
I could write this down. I think I'm taking notes.
Right. I can literally pull up. And there's nothing you can do about it. I can have somebody else pull up. And that's when I learned myself, when I'm calling customer service places and let's say the conversation goes left, maintain some form of respect, some form of dignity, because I don't know information that man had.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe I get this person who's on his last straw. He don't find where I live, but he found where my mama live. Something like that. You know what I mean? You don't know what the person on the other end is doing. So I'm pretty sure that troll probably cooled his jets real quick.
He was like, let me relax.
Let me chill.
Let me get this app that everybody else uses. Everything good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's about that time. That's true. Well, we getting about here anyway. Kev, let the people know where they can find you.
Actually, my Twitter's still the same. _Hollywood Kev. Reinvent myself. New Instagram.
So that was you that added.
Yeah, it was me. I was like, when I did it, I was like, they gonna see if I'm hacked or not, or if it's new. Put it this way: if somebody is making a separate account claiming to be me, I made it. I made it. But no, it's the same. On Instagram, it's Hollywood Kev followed by _. No underscore in the front. The underscore is now in the back. I don't have any pictures up yet, but if you request me, I'm definitely gonna add you. With this particular profile, I want people to be able to get a little bit more of me in it. You know what I mean? So definitely do that. Again, that's on our Instagram, Hollywood Kev, followed by _. On Twitter, it's _Hollywood Kev.
At Big Los UTC on Twitter, at Big Los IG on IG, at The Noize Podcast on the Big Three, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And, of course, BeatNetworkOnline.com. Go in there and buy some merch, too, man.
Yeah, do that. We got to get an ear hustle shirt up.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get that up there.
Soon. I gotta work. But soon. And keep checking back at the website as well, either yesterday when y'all are listening or today while y'all are listening on a Sunday. We'll have the interviews up from the Vice Year 3
Dope
event.
interviews, by the way.
Very dope interviews. We love y'all, man. I know what else to say.
The moral of today is don't talk shit if you can't back it up.
It's the gospel.
Yeah.
As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate your support. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's The Noize.